Hey guys, welcome. This is Kino. This is episode 12 of my Vanilla Let's Play series. And in this episode we're gonna continue the work on the gold farm. In the last two episodes we have built all the surrounding platforms, all the portals and all the trapdoors right here. And this episode we're gonna focus on creating the transport system for the zombie pigmen to end up in a single spot with only a 1 or 2 hit damage value. So let's get started. First of all, let's check this out. We have a water source in all of the corners. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the water is gonna run all the way to here. So let's break this block. Very good. Jump across, and again let's count from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this block needs to go, and this block needs to go. So this is gonna have to be one block lower because the water doesn't flow this far. And from this area here we're going to make the move inwards. So let's actually make a floor below this so we can actually start on gathering the mobs here. So let me do some scaffolding and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's get this first part done. The mobs should not be able to travel backwards, so we'll close this off and we'll close this floor here so they can fall onto it, and then it should expand inwards. Yeah, let me do this little setting for all the 4 sides and I'll be back in a second to continue for the next part. Okay, very good. I did a little bit of miscalculation. There's only 2 blocks in between here. So there's 8 on this side, 8 on that side and 2 in between. For the next round we are going to make the walls. So first, let's see. This one, let's just start here. Let's make this a full line of stone bricks. Same goes for down here. So the walkway will be a little bit longer. And let's just make sure we put this all the way around and a few blocks up. So let us see what height we are going to need. And yeah. So this will be the example height. So this is gonna go up, all the way up to at least this height. And yeah, I think this is the perfect height. All the way up to the portal level itself. So that's gonna require a few stone bricks. So let me place those in between cuts I mean. And for the way in between here, this is going to be the next part of the build. So I'll be back with you when I have a little bit more to show of this wall I put all the way around. Alright, so the wall has been placed and you can see there is not there's only 4 ways out of the area below here, and that's these 4 little doors I have. So let's jump down and let's take a look in here. Here you can see the mobs will all travel by the water into this small area here, and I'm going to connect these areas up with water so the water will flow in here. Here's gonna be a few new water sources, and from here out let's go out another block. And this will actually be the block where the zombie pigmen will travel up, at least the adult ones will. For the baby pigmen we are going to send them off to the sides, so let's move it to the side a bit. We do need to work a bit lower than this, 1 block lower to be exactly, for them to connect in the corners, since this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, who knows? This will work exactly. Very good. So yeah, let me draw this line around on the inside so the mobs can move around, and I will be back for the next part. Alright, the inner ring is done, and I did a bunch of new scaffolding, so I can now get up here instead of somewhere underneath here. Next up for this build, we're going to make a few walls on the inside as well, so the mobs can't get out of here. So let's start with walls at least 2 high, so that will prevent mobs from escaping again this walkway, and we can continue this a bit upwards. And after I've done this wall, we'll start on the first things we need to do to get the mob elevator started. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, perfect. So we have our wall on the inside as well. So let's start off with the first few blocks we need for the baby mob elevators. So we're gonna have a slab in the 2 opposite corners. So we only need 2 slabs for the first part, like so. And let's see what I should be doing for the next part. Yes, I think I'll just place the next slabs right here and right here. Let me do that a little bit differently. As you can see, there is still exactly a 1 block gap between those 2 half slabs, so the baby mobs can go through and then swim up. That's the idea at least. So let's do this in both corners. Let's move to this one. Let's place a slab right here and a slab right here. And then we can block this off with some normal blocks. Very good. So the water will flow underneath here. Let's actually test that for a second. Yes. Ooh. I just thought of something. We need to do those baby mob elevators, I think. Yeah, let's do them in all the corners. Yes, that should look better. Let's test the first water stream, if it reaches the corner here. Perfect. That's what we need. So let's grab the water source back. And let's start doing these slabs all around. So let me do this for all the baby mob elevators. Get these stone bricks in place, and I'll see you for the next section. Alright, the entrances for the baby mob elevator have been made, so it's gonna be 8 elevators in total. And for the next part, you can see the channel is going both ways. Let's put it back just because it makes it a bit easier. First let's put 2 slabs right on top of here, so that will force the mobs to be a bit further down and it will hold back a bit of water. Next we're gonna place 2 signs, one right here and one right here. This means the water will flow underneath here and it will flow around the corner. All the mobs will get pushed to this area, the baby mobs will flush down, and the adult mobs will start jumping and their heads will hit the next water source. So the mob elevator will be started. So I'm gonna do this for all the sides around here. In this little spot here is gonna be a water source for the baby elevators. And next, yeah, let me continue this for the entire area. Set up the first part and then let me show you how to build the way up. Alright, so let's start building up the first area for the grown-up mobs. So to get an easy start, let's make an infinite water source down here. Get your water buckets in hand, fill them all up, and let's get started. So we want to make this go up. Oh, that's a wrong placement. Let's grab, yes. Okay, so here we have another area up. So let's place the water sources and let's jump out. And there we have it. The first part is already done. Let's go down and refill both of them. Very good. Oops, I got that one. Not a problem. Alright, so let's build up the row another layer. Let's put 2 signs, one on either side. Another row of blocks. And again 2 water sources. It could be 1, but I think the still water is a lot better to look at. It doesn't make a sound anymore. And it causes a bit less lag, so it's always a good advice to make it just the normal pieces of water. And as you can see, we can just swim up very easily by pressing spacebar. And yeah, that's basically the entire mob elevator idea. You could do this 1 wide, but I thought 2 wide would be more symmetrical, so that's why I made it this big. Let's place a few more signs, a few more blocks, and a bit of water. And there we go. We're almost at the level where we want to be. I'm gonna raise it up 1 more, like so. Again with the signs on the sides. Very good. And this is gonna be how we are going to transport our mobs upwards. So let me do this for all the other corners, and then let's go to the baby elevators in the corners itself. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I did the first 2 adult elevators. Now let's show you how to do the baby elevators. These are a little bit simpler. You just place the water in the corner that we've created, place your blocks around it, and just do a full column of water upwards. We need to do a full column because the babies are only 1 block tall. So let me continue building this up for all the other, all the 6 elevators I still have to finish. And I'll be back to you when I have finished these elevators. Alright, that's the first part of the mob elevators done. The mobs can now travel up to at least back to portal level. And for the next part, I'm going to fill in this floor, since this is going to be the level we're standing on when we are killing the mobs. So I'm just gonna fill it up completely and extend our little walkway we have down there all the way up to here. And yeah, let me do that right now, and I will see you back when we start moving these elevators further up. Alright, so I've put the floor in, so now we have a nice equal floor with all the portals. And now it's time to bring up the mob elevators a bit higher. So let me start off with the adult mob, for the one for the adult mobs, I must say. So I am gonna enclose it in glass, and yeah, let me just do this all the way up to the top. So we're gonna place some water here, then we're gonna place again the glass, some signs, build up the glass again, and we're gonna do that 23 blocks up in the air. So let me see, our Y level at the moment is 89, so we're gonna go up 23 blocks, so we should end up at, let me see, Y 112. Alright, so let me do that, and I'll meet you when I'm back at Y 112. See you in a second. Okay, so we have our first mob elevator going up to Y 112, and the reason we want it up 23 blocks is that we want to kill the mobs in the center here, and they're gonna stand on a too high pillar. This is where they're gonna fall down. So we have a drop of 21 blocks, which should take them down to about 1 heart of health, making it very easy to kill them. And since you are standing below them, they will not be able to hit you, which is also a very large advantage of this kind of gold farm. I do need to gather a bit more glass in between episodes to craft up and to make the other mob elevators. So that's something I want to show you in the next episode. In episode 4 of this building sequence, we're going to make the baby elevators the normal mob elevators, we're going to collect them up in the air in a single 2x2 square, drop them down here, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like, and I will see you later.